What's up, guys? It's the Prince of 1098 bringing you guys a new video, and today we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia chapter 236 and all the events that were in it, Shigaraki's backstory, all the crazy stuff that happened, this, that, and the third. And we're also going to be talking about the future of this channel, so stay tuned. But first, hold on. Hey, what does a brother got to do to get an intro around here?
I'll be careful. Will you
I guess to get this out of the way, yeah, this channel will for now on be more of like an anime and manga type beat. You know, anything that falls under that umbrella you can expect to see on this channel. So let me know what you want to see and we can get it poppy, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I know this chapter came out last week, whatever. It's my first one, so cut me some slack, alright? Damn. And originally, I really wasn't even going to do a chapter review, to be honest with you. It's just with all the crazy stuff that went on in this chapter and the fact that none of my friends really read the manga, I had to vent to somebody about this, so here we are. And speaking about the chapter, it basically picks up where we left off in chapter 235, where Tenko, he's outside as punishment, basically. His dad did him dirty once again, and he's just crying and he's hugging Mon-chan, you know, he's hugging his dog. And at the end of the chapter, he says, I just hate everyone, you know, and he's talking to himself. And at the end, we also get like a close-up expression of the dog, and it's basically like that oh shit expression. And for this chapter, we now know why, as unfortunately Tenko's quirk activates and his dog, it is his first victim. Yep, Mon-chan gets deleted. He's gone. He's Thanos snapped. He's out of here. And Tenko, he's just in complete disbelief, man. He turns, he looks, and it's just his dog's blood and remains as he was just holding him like 2 seconds ago, you know. And as soon as that happens, he hears his name being called, and it's his snitch ass sister coming out to apologize for what she did in the last chapter, throwing him under the bus. But Tenko, he can't speak. He's in complete disbelief. He's just gasping for air. And his sister walks up and sees the dead dog, and he starts to run inside and presumably to probably snitch again, which, okay, I understand it this time. This time it's understandable because, I mean, everyone's just in complete shock. Both of them are. The dog is dead. I can't find fault in it. And honestly, let me take a step back. I don't want to get too far away from the chapter review, but I've been seeing a lot of like hate thrown this sister's way, and I get that, but we also gotta keep into consideration that they are children, okay? After what probably she saw how her dad was cheating Tenko, so she probably wasn't wanting any of that shit, you know. She wasn't wanting a piece of that pie. So I understand why she snitched. However, you know, snitches get stitches, and unfortunately she got a little bit more than just stitches, as Tenko, he didn't want her to leave, okay? He didn't want to be alone again. He needed someone to help him in that situation. So he reached out, he grabbed her sister, or he grabbed his sister's dress, okay? And the quirk activates once again. However, instead of just, you know, disintegrating the dress, the quirk travels through the dress onto the sister, and the sister gets disintegrated as well. So she's gone, you know, deleted, Thanos snapped, whatever you want to say. And at this point in time, Tenko believes he's so let me take a step back. Shigaraki himself is narrating this chapter as it goes on, and he says that at that point in time he believed a villain was doing it. It was like a villain attack, and he didn't know it was him. He didn't know it was his quirk. So his sister just got disintegrated. His dog is just disintegrated. Tenko falls to the ground and he pukes. He's had enough. He's seen enough. I mean, and understandably so. I mean, if anybody says that, like, my stomach's gonna turn if I just saw the dog, for crying out loud. This dude held his lunch for his sister too. Damn. But that's when the mother and the grandparents come outside. They see all this stuff going on, and instinctively, the mother runs up. Like, she starts to run to Tenko to comfort him, because she sees her distressed son just like laying there puking and just all this chaos around him. So instinctively she starts to run towards him, and as well as instinctively he starts to go after her. And while he does that, he touches the ground, you know, with all 5 fingers, which starts to destroy the ground, and his quirk travels through the ground and hits his mother's leg. And that's GG for her. You already know. We already got the dog, the sister, the mother's next. Okay, the panel where it showed the mother completely just blood spewing out of her as the quirk reached her, and now she's beginning to become disintegrated. It was crazy because they were there. Like she had reached Tenko. However, she was already dead. So she fell to the ground. Her guts were all over the place. I mean, this chapter was crazy, man. The quirk had also reached the grandparents. That got, a little side fucking panel, a little tiny ass side panel of them just, disintegrating, blood spewing everywhere for them as well. But so Shigaraki turns back to see his mother in pieces laying on the ground. And he is just distraught, and at that moment the father walks out as well. The father comes out, and he previously, before in this chapter, he came to the resolution that yes, I am treating my son wrong. This is not fair. I just want to be one happy family. But at this point, it is too little, too late, as he walks out and sees his family gone, his family murdered, and his son just laying in the midst of the chaos. And another thing that Shigaraki noted while narrating to the readers in this chapter, that maybe he did know what he was doing, because he talked about how he just hated how the family members, how the grandparents, how everyone just took this father's side and just told him to stop crying, this, that, and the third, and he just hated everyone. Maybe he did know what he was doing. But nonetheless, here we are. It's just Tenko and his father now, okay? Now, this is the first time that Tenko actually speaks. He's able to finally muster a word. He's trying to say father. He's calling out to his father. And his father, he's also in disbelief. All this is happening in the backyard, keep in mind you. So everyone's guts is still just on the ground. His father falls back, okay? His father falls back as Tenko starts to crawl towards him, and he grabs some sort of tool or something. I don't know what it was. I have to take another look at it, but he grabs some sort of tool or something, and he hits Tenko with it to try and stop him from getting too close, because he doesn't know what's going on. He's far from trying to comfort Tenko. He just wants him to stay away. And that's when Tenko finally snaps. He loses it, and that's, I believe, me personally, I believe that at that moment he became Shigaraki, because he was no longer looking for comfort. He wasn't trying to get closer to his father for comfort. At that moment, he lunged at his father. And Shigaraki himself says, at that moment, I touched my father with full intent to kill. And he does. Like, Tenko lunges at his father, 5 fingers to the face, man, and just disintegrates the fuck out of him, so much where it destroys the ground even below him. And he's just screaming, die, die, die. And yeah, he's deleted too. Everyone's gone, man. Thanos snapped the whole family, for crying out loud. And the panel of him just smiling, I mean, there's still tears coming out of his eyes, but he was just smiling. And Shigaraki says that at that moment, like pure ecstasy, like pure pleasure, whatever he said, just came over me. And he also said, one thing that he also said I wanted to know is, like, maybe deep down inside, I hope something like this would have happened. So I believe it wasn't just like Tenko snapping, becoming that one boy that everyone loved, you know what I'm saying? The kid with hero aspirations to just this villain. It was obviously over time a thing that just kept building up, where he wanted this to happen. Deep down inside, he wanted this to happen. Of course, probably not to this extent. He didn't want, Mon-chan, he didn't want his sister. He probably didn't even want his mother to die. But yeah, I mean, they got what they deserved. And that's how the chapter ended, with Shigaraki standing over everyone's corpse, and the backyard is just completely destroyed. He's still smiling, he's still just crying, and that's when he becomes Shigaraki. The Shigaraki that we know, and perhaps not love, but we do know. to be the main villain of the My Hero Academia series. And the reason why I say that is because at the end, Shigaraki also says that burning itch sensation is gone. It's finally gone. Which kind of dispels my theory of what that itch was. Me personally, I thought the itch was just his quirk activating on himself, like, because we've seen in the series so far how some people's quirks, they're just not suited for their body 100%. So I thought that his quirk was ever so slightly irritating his skin, causing him to itch. But it might have just actually been like a stress itch. So when he relieved the stress of killing his father, it relieved the itching. So that's what personally I thought it was at first. Because we've seen, Aoyama, his quirk is not 100% suited for his body. Deku's quirk is not 100% suited for his body. And another thing that we know is Deku's quirk isn't his. It's obviously one for all, being passed down from each user. There's also, some theories going around the internet talking about Aoyama's quirk isn't his, but that's just headcanon, that's just theories, what I'm saying, nothing's confirmed there. But there has also been hints that Shigaraki's quirk might not have been his, stating back into the chapter, I forget what chapter it was, maybe 234, 235. His father stated that he's getting to that age where his quirk should be here by now, and chances are he just might be a quirkless person, he might just grow up to be quirkless. So this, hero dream is useless anyway. So that was interesting to note that, hey, yeah, I feel like Horikoshi would not have put that in there for no reason, Also dating back to, I think it was around the beginning of the flashbacks, that man in the suit and the hat that brought Shigaraki home, I'm not saying anything. I'm not even throwing out a theory or nothing. But all I'm saying is, could be All For One. You know what I'm saying? Could be just some random dude. All I'm saying is, All For One doesn't have a top half of his face. We didn't see the top half of the dude's face. You know what I'm saying? He had a hat. Maybe it was raining outside. Maybe it was very sunny. I don't know. I think it was nighttime. I don't know. I gotta reread the chapter, bro. But me personally, I think it might have been All For One. I think there was some intervention here, okay? Because again, I don't think Horikoshi would throw that little line in there for no reason. I think Shigaraki may have been quirkless to start out with, or maybe he even had a different quirk. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, final thoughts about this chapter. It was very sad and very dark to see how this all played out, because it very much so could have been different. It's not like a child who was troubled from the beginning and the parents tried their best with them. No, this child had aspirations to be something and was led down the wrong path by the very people that were sworn to protect him, I mean, this kid just couldn't catch a break. The father just over-exaggerated everything, okay? If you don't want your child to be a hero, that's on you, whatever. You let that child be whatever it wants to be, as long as it's still good, it's as long as it doesn't harm anyone else. And if he wants to be a hero, then you as a father, you as a mother, you as parents need to, be the ones to reinforce that type of security for the child, that type of reassurance that, hey, yeah, we're here for you, whatever transpires, whatever happens, quirk or not, we're here for you. And I get where the father was coming from. Don't take it as I understand the father was beating his child, but I understand the father's displeasure. I don't even want to say hate. I don't know if he hates heroes or not. It just sure seems like he does, but I understand his father's hate towards heroes because his mother, Nana Shimura, left them to go fight crime, to go fight All For One. And he sees it as she abandoned them. And I believe he said something along the lines of, I don't know if it was definitely not this chapter, but I think it was chapter 235 or 234. This is a hero that leaves his family to go fight crime. Like, he obviously had displeasure towards that, he obviously had built up anger and resentment towards heroes in general, this, that, and the third. So his son wanting to be a hero definitely rubbed him the wrong way. I don't know what kind of quirks they had, if they could have seen this coming, you know what I'm saying? Horikoshi left that out, I want to say. I don't think we had any insight as to what the parents' quirks were, because, you know, if we did, then that kind of would give away the theory of whether or not Shigaraki's quirk was his own to begin with, because, you know, if either quirk kind of made sense for Shigaraki's quirk to become disintegration, then we would know that, okay, then chances are that was his quirk from all along. But, you know, if not, then hey, there you go. But it is just sad because this could have played out so differently. Like, just about everything had to go wrong for this to happen, because had his dad not been a complete asshole and a complete prick and just throwing out his son just to stay outside, isolating him and beating him. I mean, damn, he gave him the beats, dog. I mean, I could only imagine just, I come across a picture of an old family member and my fucking dad walks out and says, "Hey, bro, did you see a picture of your grandmother? Bitch! And like, I can't fathom that, you know what I'm saying? Are you playing hero? What'd I tell you about playing hero? Bitch! I fucking told you ass. But my point still stands. Like, a lot had to go wrong for this to reach this outcome. Because say that night his father did not isolate Shigaraki, okay? He did not throw him out of the house, and he wasn't out there alone with Monchan. I'm pretty certain that Monchan probably would have survived. Okay, okay. All right, all my Monchan enthusiasts, you can blame that on Dad as well. But say he was inside. He was inside playing. Maybe he was playing with some toys or something, just not touching someone. You know what I'm saying? His quirk probably would have activated, say, on a toy or something, and disintegrated the toy. So then he probably would have freaked out and said, "Mom, Dad, what happened? What is this?" They would have been like, "Okay, that's your quirk. Just don't touch anybody for now until we know more about what's going on." So then, you know, everything just plays out differently, you know? Just that little incident right there would have played out differently. Or were they eating? No, they weren't eating. I was thinking if they were eating, maybe his fork would have disintegrated or something. And there you go right there. So it would have just played out so much more differently, and it would not have been much of a problem at all. And we might not have the Shigaraki that we know today. He probably still would have been fucked up, but not to this extent, you know, after seeing his whole family die. But yeah, it's just, it all matters, man. All in all, this chapter was amazing. I look forward to seeing what they do in the future. I wouldn't be surprised actually if this was the end of the flashbacks and we go back to Shigaraki and Redestro. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't know what I want to see more. I don't know if I want to see Gigantomachia versus Redestro, or I want to see Shigaraki continue to run his fade. Like, yo, there's so much stuff set up for these upcoming chapters that I'm just hyped. The only one thing that I hope, that I pray that we see is just, you know, just a... Come on, Horikoshi, give us that Dabi backstory, dog. Like, it doesn't even have to be like a huge in-depth thing. Just, you know, even one panel to the side that says that Dabi's over there saying like, "Hey, you know, back in the day they used to call me Toya." That's all we need. That's all we need. I promise you, bro. I promise you. But nah. I feel like that's another discussion for another video. However, for this one, we're gonna wrap it up here. Like I said, I cannot wait to see what happens in the future. Stay on the lookout. If you haven't yet, just go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for future content. It really helps me out, and I appreciate it. This is the Prince of 1098 signing out. Peace, guys.
俺はドライアイなんだ。